It's a road to more possibilities as remote work opportunities are really expected, Megan, to stick around in many industries way beyond this pandemic.
That's right. This morning, the appeal of working anywhere may have you thinking about relocating. Some communities are even offering incentives for remote workers. A newly launched website, MakeMyMove.com, will let you see all of those opportunities in one spot. The offers include links to those posted by communities. For example, one in Northwest Arkansas will give you $10,000 to move there and even give you a mountain bike in addition to that. Another at Purdue University is offering $5,000 to live on campus if you don't currently live in the state.
Has grown to sort of a full two-sided marketplace where those remote workers can come shop for their next community, and the communities can sort of promote their wares, reach those remote workers, and maybe land a couple new residents.
Right now, there are 37 offers available on the website. There's also a section where you can design your move and possibly work with the area to create an incentive if there's enough interest, Raphael.
So this is really a horrific scene unfolding at a Colorado grocery store in which 10 people are left dead. Coming up on Good Morning America, the show is live in Boulder with the very latest on this tragic shooting story there from the West Coast. Lauren?
And a once dormant volcano continues to spew lava in Iceland. This morning, how some scientists are using the historic event to whip up a little snack.
It is time for some WRTV tournament trivia, where you can answer questions about the history of Indiana schools in the NCAA tournament. Here's today's question. What two future NBA Hall of Famers went head-to-head in the 1979 NCAA National Championship game between Indiana State and Michigan State? We'll have that answer next.
Let's go places.
Here we go. Two future NBA Hall of Famers went head-to-head in the '79 national title game. Indiana State and Michigan State were the matchup. The answer, of course, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Bird carried the Indiana State Sycamores into the national title game against the Spartans and Magic Johnson. Michigan State won that game, but that was just the beginning, as Bird and Johnson developed one of the greatest rivalries of all time in the NBA. And both players are now Pro Basketball Hall of Famers.
All right, some fun trivia for you guys, but let's turn to this, what's trending now at 6 o'clock. And we'll start internationally. A country known for its fjords is working towards another maritime feature, and this one is man-made. Norway has authorized the construction of what officials are calling the world's first ship tunnel. It will take crews up to 4 years to dig the mile-long, 118-foot wide tunnel. And officials hope once it's done, it'll help promote commerce.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Very
That's neat.
I like
Like a canal, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how people do that.
Yeah.
Smarter people than
A lot of hard work.
You're right.
A lot of
hard work. Same with this story. Archaeologists uncovering a collection of ancient relics in southwest China, including a 3,000-year-old gold mask. More than 50,000 artifacts have been found at the 4.6 square mile site since discovery in 1920s. Some experts believe the recent items may shine a further light on the ancient Zhou state, a former kingdom conquered in 316 BC. There it is.
This morning, I feel like we need a passport. I mean, we're just traveling around the world this morning. So
No
this
COVID
morning, let me
test
take you
needed.
somewhere else. Yeah, right? Well, we can wait till after we get vaccinated. But listen, take a look at this. Lava continues to pour from a volcano, this in southwest Iceland. The volcanic eruption started on Friday, leading to a kaleidoscope of colors. Some researchers even brought some sausages to cook on the smoldering rock. I would not suggest you do that. In the name of science, of course. The eruption follows nearly a month of seismic activity, leading to nearly 50,000 earthquakes. I would love to visit Iceland during a different occasion, but that, I'm told, is a very beautiful place to visit. And if you're going to do the sausages, Todd Clausen, I'd say break out the s'mores. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You might as well do the whole 9 yards. And I can tell you, it is a very beautiful place. I took my mom there a few years ago. Very, very beautiful country. Expensive, though. I was telling Megan, hamburgers about $35, $40 in Iceland. So they get you there with the beauty, and then your credit card gets a workout. All right, outside right now. But hey, it's all in the name of fun, right? Outside right now, we are dealing with quiet conditions. There's a storm heading our way, though. It's going to bring scattered showers into our area later on this afternoon and in more so the evening hours. So anything you want to do this morning, you're fine. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 50s, climbing to 60 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. Highs today in the mid 60s, so we're above normal once again. But anytime after 3 o'clock, we'll start to bring some scattered showers into the forecast, although they're probably a little more numerous as we get to the 6 o'clock hour and then beyond into the evening. We'll talk more about your extended forecast, which keeps the rain around for several days on a hit or miss basis in just a few minutes. Megan.
All right, thank you, Todd. And if you're like most people, the pandemic has made it impossible to go to the movie theater over the last year. Now with the Oscar nominations out, many people are scrambling to watch the nominated films. Working for you, our John Matarese explains how you can stream those movies so you don't waste your money.
The Oscar nominations are out, and if you're like a lot of people this pandemic year, you haven't seen any of them. So we found out how to stream them without leaving your home. The shutdown of movie theaters during the pandemic moved almost all movies straight to streaming this past year. And the good news is that if you have Netflix, you can see quite a few of them. Among them, Mank, a Best Picture favorite. Ma Rainey, for nominated performances by Viola Davis and the late Chadwick Boseman. Hillbilly Elegy, set in Middletown, Ohio, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. You will need to pay for Hulu, though, if you want to see another Best Picture favorite, Nomadland. Amazon Prime will get you Sound of Metal and Borat. Other Best Picture nominees, Minari, Promising Young Woman, and Judas and the Black Messiah are available on demand for a small fee, so grab the popcorn and don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana, it's Tuesday morning. Let's take a look at the 6:30 news feed. One person is dead after a shooting on the Near East side of Indianapolis. This happened around 10 o'clock last night at a multi-unit home on North State Avenue near East Michigan Street. The victim died at the scene. Information on a suspect has not been released at this time.
An arrest has been made in a deadly shooting at a Northeast Side hotel in Indianapolis. The shooting happened early last Monday morning, March the 15th, at the Super 8 Motel on East 82nd Street, just off of I-69. Police have now charged 25-year-old Cassidy Charleston with that deadly shooting. Officers say 27-year-old Cody Campbell was shot while inside a room at the motel. He later died at a hospital. So far, police have not said what may have led to that shooting.
There are new questions about AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine. Federal health officials say they were notified the drug company may have used outdated information when reporting results from its U.S. trials. The news comes hours after AstraZeneca announced that its vaccine was found to be safe and 79% effective in preventing COVID-19 symptoms. So far, the drug company has not commented. Good morning and thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana on your Tuesday. And let's get straight to meteorologist Todd Clausen. Todd, I walked in without my jacket, but I might want it later on.
You know, the good news in the forecast today is it's fairly mild, so you could get by without a jacket if you're tough. You may need a light jacket here this morning with temperatures that are in the 40s and 50s. The bad news in this forecast is we'll bring some rain into the equation as we work our way into the more so late afternoon hours and evening, so most of the day will be dry for you to get out and about to enjoy these temperatures. So it'll be completely dry this morning for your commute. There's no threat of any rain. There's no visibility issues here. As you look from downtown to the north, you can see the visibility pretty much unlimited with mostly cloudy skies in place. It's not going to be the brightest day for us with these clouds that are around, but it's definitely not a washout of a day. The rain that we'll focus on is down here in Arkansas. That's going to lift to the north, but as it moves into central Indiana, it should start to weaken, and that's why we're only expecting some scattered showers to build in this afternoon and into the evening hours. As far as temperatures, should be around 60 degrees by the noon hour with high temperatures that'll top off, Lauren, in the mid to upper 60s.
All right, Todd, thanks. Let's take a look at your commute this morning. This is over on the east side of town, I-70 here in Arlington Avenue. We're not exactly sure what's happening here, but you can see the flashing lights over there in the shoulder here on the east side. We'll continue to monitor this and see if we can figure out what's going on. Looks like maybe we have a flashlight light or something, or lights looking down there into the grass, into the ditch. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on here on the east side. The good news is you can see, though, at the bottom of your screen is traffic is still traveling about up to speed.
Additionally, I've signed another executive order that calls on all Hoosiers to hunker down. Stay at home. Make no mistake about it. This disease is killing people. Time is of the essence.
1 year ago today, Governor Eric Holcomb signed the state's first stay-at-home order in an effort to fight the coronavirus pandemic. The unprecedented step came as the state was nearing 400 cases of the virus, including more than 150 right here in Marion County. The initial order was supposed to last from March 24th through April 7th, but before that deadline, Indiana reached the 100th COVID-related death. So the order was extended to April 3rd, and 45 days after the first reported death, more than 1,000 Hoosiers had died with the virus. The message then remains the same today. It takes everyone doing their part to beat this virus.
More than 1 year since this pandemic began, many Hoosiers still waiting for their unemployment benefits or for that job. Faces of Unemployment is our commitment here at WRTV to tell your stories of struggles, your stories of success. WRTV's Troy Washington, she reports on a northern Indiana woman who took a different path during this pandemic.
After being laid off, Garetano took some time to reflect. She then created a vision for a clearer picture for her family and anyone else in search of a fresh start.
The day before Good Friday last year, it was the first round of layoffs. I was working in quality assurance for an aerospace company. So when people stopped flying, they did big layoffs. It ended up being almost 400 people last year, but I was in the first round.
She took some time to focus on family, but she never stopped dreaming.
Things are out of your control. There's been so much in the last year that's out of everybody's control. But if you see an opportunity and are willing to, bet on yourself a little bit.
Out of that thought, a Fresh Start cleaning service was born. Garetano is a veteran. She launched her business on Veterans Day.
In about 4 months, I had 13 clients. So then it was like time to make it official and bring people on to help so that I could take on more jobs. Yeah, we're trying to expand on the commercial side. I took on 2 new commercial clients last month.
She took great pride in serving her country and says she's now able to be of service to people in search of a fresh start.
About 23 clients now, and have 3 people who I used to work with in the service industry who also all got hit hard last year. So it's been nice to be able to kind of fill in their gap of income, and help them get through this time too. So, we think the Fresh Start is my fresh start, but we clean for you. It's a fresh start to your week or your month.
A Fresh Start Cleaning Services is proving to be the right mix for success, and she plans to keep growing the business. Working for you, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. The big dance crowds got a little too big for one downtown party over the weekend. Next, we'll have a live report on how the city and businesses there are working to make sure that everyone follows the health guidelines for the rest of March Madness. It is 6:35 here on your Tuesday. Stick around. We'll be right back.
CrossroadFarmsJobs.com.
Welcome back. The busy first weekend is over. Now Indianapolis will get ready for the second weekend of March Madness with the tip-off of the Sweet 16 coming this Saturday.
And the weather was perfect for that busy weekend, Megan. That will mean more basketball fans in downtown Indianapolis and possibly also the increase of fear that there could be a spike in COVID cases after the games are over. Our Kelsey Anderson, she's live this morning with the concerns from some local business owners. Kelsey, good morning and fill us in.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So if you saw the pictures, the videos, if you've been watching WRTV, you know that thousands of people, they took to the streets this weekend to celebrate the big dance being here in Indianapolis. Now, we know that the Marion County Public Health Department, they did give a citation to the Bottle Works District for a party there that they had there on Saturday. You could see people shoulder to shoulder without masks there watching the games on those big screens. Now, we also know that the Marion County Health Department is processing 3 more citations. We don't know where those citations are at the moment. But again, thousands of people were downtown this weekend, either visiting to watch the big dance or locals just wanting to be a part of the action, which was big for businesses. WRTV talked to a small business owner who understands the arguments for and against having fans in our area. He says it's a double-edged sword.
When I heard that that they were going to do that, I was a little concerned about the pandemic, but I also thought that having a little boost for the city would be helpful. Definitely good for restaurants and bars. The downtown area, I'm sure, is definitely benefiting from it. Other businesses, maybe not so much.
Right now says he did see more customers this weekend coming into his store, but he said it was more just people popping in as they were walking by, seeing what the city had to offer. Now, this weekend, when I spoke to the Marion County Health Department, the spokesperson said that they could issue notices and citations and fines to those places that weren't following the guidelines that are in Marion County right now. We also know that over the next coming days and the coming weeks through this NCAA tournament, they are going to be having more inspectors out and about, making sure that businesses and people visiting here in the Circle City are following those guidelines. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. It is 6:40 here on your Tuesday. Hosting the big dance has been good news for Central Indiana's tourism industry. Several hospitality workers who were laid off in this pandemic, they're now getting back in the game. The JW Marriott is one of the many hotels that closed its doors due to coronavirus restrictions. It reopened after the first few months of this pandemic and has slowly been bringing back its staff since last July. General Manager Phil Ray says his hotel is now one of several that make up the bubble for the NCAA tournament, filling up their rooms and their payroll.
That's going to be locking us up with some consistent business and keeping our hotels full and being able to allow us to bring even more people back to work. So we're very excited about that.
While hotels won't likely return to the pre-pandemic revenue levels until 2024, many employers are still looking to hire Hoosiers. The Indiana Restaurant and Lodging Association posts open positions on their website. You can learn more on our website. Just go to hiringhoosiers.com. Well, the women's NCAA tournament underway down in San Antonio, and the IU women are moving on to the second round. Grace Berger scored 20 points, and the Hoosiers played smothering defense in the second half over their win over VCU. IU held the Rams to just 3 points in the fourth quarter as they won the game 63-32. That's the lowest point total for a Big Ten women's opponent in women's tournament history. IU will take on Belmont in the second round tomorrow. Megan.
Ladies, all right. Well, as the pandemic continues, there are still hundreds of Hoosiers in danger of going hungry. Next, a look at how one food pantry is still busy 1 year after life as we know it changed. Todd.
And as we work our way throughout the course of the day today, our rain chances will start to creep up as we head into the early afternoon hours. But it's more so this evening that we'll deal with some scattered showers. The problem is once the scattered showers arrive in the forecast today, they're going to stick around with rain chances in the forecast all the way through the end of the week. We'll break it all down for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Every day at 6 p.m.
The Rebound Indiana is our initiative here at WRTV to help Hoosiers across our state get to the other side of the pandemic. And Lauren, I love the story so much, I'm going to skip what's in the prompter for a second to say that I think this group in particular helps so many families. Our family donates to them because they help families really get through the pandemic and meets them where they need to be by providing some great food.
Yeah, you and I see what they do down there in Johnson County.
Yeah.
And of course, we're talking about the Interchurch Food Pantry. For a day of reflection, I stopped by to see how they've adapted to serve a community in need 1 year into this pandemic.
A year ago at this time, we quickly had to shift. On faith, we hoped it would work out, and it did. We have seen the giving side of the community this past year.
Cars roll up to the door of the Interchurch Food Pantry of Johnson County, just as they have every week since this pandemic took hold.
We've learned a lot over the year.
Carol Phipps is the executive director. She reflects on a year ago when there were so many unknowns and the pantry pivoted to a drive-through service to keep clients and volunteers safe.
As a car drives up, we have volunteers who have the product ready for them to load in their cars.
the first place I came when the coronavirus pandemic struck. Volunteers are getting used to the new normal, a drive-through using prepackaged boxes to serve families in need. Now, at the time, we didn't know, is this thing going to last weeks, months? Didn't think it was going to last a year, but even today, we're still seeing the impacts of COVID-19.
In 2020, the Interchurch Food Pantry served 22% more households than the previous year. But another stat to highlight, the increased giving. Phipps says in 2020, they gave out 45% more food than the previous year. Plus, they surveyed their clients who say they prefer this new drive-through method. They now fill out these grocery checklists.
If they want soup, they select the flavor of soups that they want. If they want canned vegetables, they pick, is it corn, peas, carrots?
Reducing food waste while providing more choice. Phipps tells me a big concern in March 2020 was volunteers. Many of their usual helpers are elderly. But while they stayed home, much younger volunteer pools stepped in to fill their shoes.
And they just allow us to do what we do.
Volunteers like Scarlett Seisey.
I take the menus out to the clients.
She's on the front lines of this operation in direct contact with the folks in need.
We want to know these people beyond just handing them food.
While volunteers like Scarlett have such an impact on these families they serve, she tells me it goes both ways.
And he came through the food line here, and he told me this is the first time he'd ever been here, and he'd spent the last half hour going up and down the road trying to decide if he should come. And I looked up at his hat, and it said veteran on it. I said, well, you have given to your country your whole life, and now we're going to help you a little bit.
And in those rare moments of close human connection in this pandemic, we find what truly matters.
You know, I've come to really care about and love these people. This has been a gift to me to work here, and I'm getting emotional, but I really care for them. They're good people. They're just down on their luck, and they're going to get back on their feet.
And the Interchurch Food Pantry of Johnson County also started food delivery to families in need with a lack of transportation. The day I stopped by, volunteers drove meals to 15 families just that day. For anyone in need in Johnson County, there's no proof of income required. They want to make it really easy. They've also served a number of families outside of the county in this pandemic. So for more information on how to donate, how to volunteer, or if you're in need, just click on this story. It's in the WRTV News app.